is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to our man George in Newport Richey. George, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Tom. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Yeah, great. I've been following you for the last 2 years, listening to your show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, George.
All the hard work you've done for us over the years.
Well, I really appreciate you calling and saying hi.
My pleasure, Tom.
Okay.
I'll listen to your show.
Thank you, man. Have a great one and a safe one. Appreciate it, man.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks for kicking off the final hour of the trading day right here with me on the Tom O'Brien Show. And we got markets in green across the board. Pretty amazing press conference from the president, his team, Secretary of Defense, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, talking about the operation. And one of the headlines as we kick off the program, Iran can be taken out in one night. Whew, the negotiations are on, man. You represent the strongest hand you can in a negotiation. So we'll get into that. But the markets right now, we're green across the board. S&Ps, we're looking at a 5-minute chart, and we're right near the upper echelon of where this market's been. When you see the trading range throughout the day, we hit 66, 61 early today. Right now, you're up by 23 points, trading at 66.45. NASDAQ 100, we're up by about 0.5%. We hit a high today, 24,452. We're up by 127 points, 24,346. The Dow right now up by 0.25%, up 118 points, 46,850. The Russell up by 0.5%. Russell just hit session highs when the president was finishing up his talk at 25.61. Right now, the Russell up by 0.5%. Bitcoin up by 4%. What a little volatility in Bitcoin there. We hit 70,000 earlier today. We're trading just under that number, 69,865. We jump over to yields. You get the 10-year right now. Up by 2 ticks. The 10-year yield, 4.33. Exactly on that 10-year. 4.33 on the 10-year. You jump over the dollar. Right at 100. 99.98. You take a look at that dollar. Whether you put it on a daily. I mean, how about this 100 area? Right? You put it on a weekly. Okay, let's back it up. 5 years on a weekly. Look at this 100 area. So important to how the dollar trades. It was support for the longest time in 2023, 2024, turned into resistance in 2025. Still resistance until you break through that level. Dollar trading just under 100. You jump over to gold. Now, gold, yeah, you were higher. Gold. Early this morning, just taking a look at the gold market. Yeah, we were up to 4,700 and change. Right after the program this morning, you make it to 47.24. We've backed off a bit. You got gold near session lows, off by $1 at 46.78. You jump over to silver, up by 14 pennies at 73.06. We jump over the VIX, 24.51. You know, something to take a look at the metals market, folks. All right, for you bulls out there, and I stepped in with a few positions in the gold report last week. Okay, it was a nice pullback on a weekly basis. You had a nice pullback in gold from the highs early in March of 5,400. Right? Remember, we opened right at the beginning of March on that war thinking we had higher gold prices, and no, gold sells off. We come back and test the October highs where you had some tremendous quality volume all the way on the run up. But look at that volume last week. It's something to watch, okay? Because that's not what you want to see. Now, it was a holiday week. You only had 4 trading days, but you still only did 674,000 contracts. And right now, gold is flat. You jump over to silver, same thing. That's a weekly chart on silver, 159,000 contracts. Talked about it a little bit today, but keep your eye on that volume. Because if gold's got another run coming up, I'd like to see some volume come into this market. I mean, last week on silver, last Monday, 30,000 contracts the whole day. All right, let's talk some of the headlines. So, quite the dramatic search and rescue. Can't wait to see the movie for this one, man. Some of the statistics, the number of planes involved, the number of troops, no man left behind, and the whole deal. But the bottom line is we still got a deadline for tomorrow, and there is no off-ramp just yet. We take a look at the volume in the indices. Okay, this is the S&P futures we're looking at, S&P 500. Very light volume day today. Going to be an interesting final hour of trading. This market is traded higher on thin volume, okay? You're talking about 916,000 contracts right now in the futures. In the Qs, you're under 400,000 contracts. Now, we got an hour left to go, but they look to be light numbers right now. You jump over the SPY. Look at this SPY. SPY, you've only done 28 million shares today. You did 68 million on Friday. 97 million, 152 million. There's no action in the indices right now. You jump over the Qs, same deal. Now, we'll get some volume in the final hour. You'll get some volume on the close, but we are going to be nowhere near the volume we've been doing recently. Very, very light day in the markets across the board. You jump over the volume for crude. There was some real strength in that acceleration on Thursday when the market pushed higher. Today, taking a little bit of a break. As in even crude, 231,000 contracts. Jump over to gold right now. Yeah, same deal. Look at the volume on gold. Whew. 85,000 contracts. Just nothing in this market right now. Maybe a little bit of waiting and seeing. As we got a little volatility, we got a Tuesday deadline, and we got markets oscillating in the green right now. All right, in terms of other headlines out there, you talking inflation? There's a lot of things lining up. Truck rates, the highest since 2022. They're going to start adding to inflation. Not start, they are. But yeah, truck operators have raised the weekly per mile fuel surcharge paid by shippers to the highest since 2022. Yeah, and crude prices. This is where you hit everything. When these cruise prices start accelerating, folks, because energy runs everything, right? We see it in AI. And you see it when you're talking about right now. Look at payrolls. Truck transportation payrolls, they just keep dropping off. But look at this spike. You just went from the dry van rate of $1.90 to $2.50. That's more than a 30% increase. A 30% increase on trucking rates coming for you. All right, we jump around to some other equities. Oracle shares, slightly in the red right now. What do they got? They got somebody new at the helm. New CFO. Yeah. Take a look at this thing. If you're in this equity on a short-term basis, folks, 140 is the floor right here. Don't give it much. You know, I like the risk-reward for this play longer term, but you break below here, you got some trouble, man. Oracle shares down by 0.5%. We take a look at the heat map in this market right now. S&P 500, it's a mixed bag, right? You look at this market, we're green across the board, but look at this heat map right now, okay? We got a lot of red in this map right now. Some of the big ones trading higher. You got Apple shares up by more than 1%, Google up by 1.1%, Micron up by 3.2%. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're coming back with our man Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, author of Mastering Probability. We'll come back, talk some markets. We'll come back with Steve, folks. Be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now up by 21 points. That's about 0.3% in the green, trading at 66.43. And right now, folks, as we do each and every Monday at 3:15, put it on your calendar. We talk to our man, Steve Rhodes. Steve hosts his program, folks, The Trader's Edge, every market day, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on Tiger TV, 11 a.m. till noon. Check that out. And if you haven't checked out Mastering Probability, folks, right at the front page of TFNN, you hit the newsletter tab, you'll see Mastering Probability. You can sign up for Steve's outstanding monthly newsletter. Okay, comes out daily, but you can sign up for a month, 6 months, a year, folks. Updates throughout the week. In the morning, in the afternoon, I'll get it out, Steve. You got so much great information, man. It's hard to cover all that information when I talk to you. I do.
I love it.
Good afternoon. How's it going, Steve?
Good. Hey, the only question really for us today to answer is UConn or Michigan.
Oh, boy, some of this basketball, man. There's nothing like competition, man. Kids, I say kids as in, man, just the emotions. I can't wait. Yeah. There were some great games this weekend. Yeah, for sure.
There was. I thought, caught the Michigan game last night, and they just really looked amazing. Now, today's a different day, and it's really the point spread's only 6.5 points. So for as good as they looked, could be a pretty tight game. So looking forward to it. My only complaint is, why does it have to start at 9 o'clock at night?
I know. Oh man, I know. Sometimes in the age of streaming, I was going to say now, Steve, I fall asleep, and sometimes it's great. Like I'm watching in the morning. You know how some of the platforms have the game saved because I hear you, man. I know the West Coast, they get us. Hey,
they do. So what I thought we'd do today. One of our denners, John C. inside the Tiger's Den, for years has been tracking the RSI, the relative strength indicator. He's been doing this in more short-term time frame that we're going to be taking a look at. But he's been posting. So what he's looking for spikes. And I've got a 5-minute chart up on our screen. He's looking for spikes that get above the 80 level. That's the top black line on the bottom panel of my screen. And the bottom line is the 20 level. So he's looking for spikes to get above 80 or below 20. And what he noticed, he identified, you're not seeing the chart?
I don't think we have them, Steve. If you could try one more time, maybe. I thought Al mentioned it, but yeah.
No, for sure, because...
There we go. We got you now. Awesome. Rocking.
Perfect. Okay, good. Okay. So here's a chart, a 5-minute ES mini chart. The black horizontal lines that you see at the top, I'm only doing one side of this trade,
are
identifying the close of the bar where the RSI makes its spike high. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you take a look at the first red arrow, there's where the spike high is. If I go to the bar that's associated with that, I'm just identifying and putting there the close of that price. Not the high, not the low, not the open, but the close of the price. So here, if we pull over to about April 6th, around 2,200 hours, there was another spike high in the RSI on a 5-minute basis. Above 80, we mark that spot. And what you notice here, these are just 3 examples. These are, this was a snapshot taken as of an hour ago, maybe. And you can see that, in fact, his conclusion, what he's shown us, is that price eventually comes back to retest those levels. So it works to the upside or to the downside. So, and his core system works like this. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to necessarily explain it that easily, but or I could. But if this is the core system that he developed, if people want to take a look at it, he said it's fine to share this with everyone. When I take a look at just a 5-minute chart, Tommy, for all of March, there were 300 total signals out there. So there's a lot of signals that fire, which is helpful for a real intraday type traders. What I also then did was I went back and started applying some of my other tools to John's system. When I first ran this system here, Tommy, the results came out somewhere around 75% actual hits. So I said, hey, that's a great system. Anything about 51% is usually pretty good, or 55%, let's say. Okay, so this was already what he had observed, both to the upside and to the downside, was most certainly working. And March is pretty a volatile month out here. So that was pretty cool. And then that said I said to myself, Steve, why don't we try to apply a couple of other tools to it? And a couple of those tools were sometimes, Tommy, when I do my show, I don't look at just the daily time frame. And if I'm reviewing a stock chart, I'm looking at daily, weekly, and monthly so that we have a better overview. So in this instance here for these spikes, what I thought I would do is take a look and still use just the 5-minute time frame out here, and go ahead and apply one of the tools that I use, the Spot VIX Index. When price is trading below that, buyers are the ones that have an edge. When price is above that, sellers are the ones that have an edge. So I wanted to see what kind of results that we would get with the win or the fail type results here. And it's all laid out. Everything is really just laid out here with regard to exactly what I did. So people can go back, they can kind of test it. And what I did find, this is the end result here, Tommy, is if you start taking a look at taking what John's system had, applying just simply the Spot VIX tool to it, we were able to bring those rates up to 90%, 89% out here.
Pretty cool.
Many people might have thought when the Spot VIX index got up to 88 or above 88%, that would give us our biggest win percentage rates out there. It actually was 80 to 84. So I've got those levels kind of tied out or yellowed out here, a small little yellow line around it, and 16 to 20 to the downside. So everything is listed here for folks that want to take a look at this system, maybe expand upon it. And this is, and it would also be helpful for anybody that might want to do this, Tommy, to set up a set of charts like this. On the left-hand side, I've got the 5-minute ES, then the 30 and the 60, because what I found was that I could actually increase my odds if I could get a 5-minute, a 30-minute, and a 60-minute all spiking above the 80 level or below the 20 level at the same time. And so I was looking for some synergy there for multiple time frames, which is really what I was getting back to when I take a look at a stock chart. I look at daily, weekly, and monthly time frames. So I was really applying that same set of tools there, and it really provided us with great results. Now I'm still working on this to actually enhance it more, for subscribers and so forth. But real cool tool that John C. inside, and kudos to him inside the Tiger's Den. And finally, I got to a time where I could go back and test some of the historical data. With regard to what's going on inside the markets right now, just a kind of a quick update here. This is the seasonal pattern for a midterm election cycle for the S&P 500 for the last 98 years. What that gives us, Tommy, is 24 occurrences. And in those 24 occurrences here, the red vertical line is where we're at today. Where the last bottom was supposed to come in was March the 30th, which is really, we bottomed March 30th, March 31st out there. This suggests that we should rally up into about April 18th, and then the midterm seasonal cycle kicks off, and we really start heading lower into the middle of September. So folks should just be aware that we got a bottom right on line when we should have. Now we're going to see if we actually rally into the 18th or so forth, and I believe that we will. We have a nice bottom pattern. We have a nice bottom pattern on the daily time frame, a by the D point bottom pattern. The weekly chart has a TD9 count pattern that's going to go ahead and complete this week. Now, what you can notice here is that since the S&P 500 made its high, we have not closed above a prior week's high since January 30th. So
Wow.
the level for folks to be watching here on Friday as just an additional signal as to what Stevie's seen that says that likely we're going to rally into the 18th is if we close above 66.09, 67 on Friday. So I think that's something that folks should be looking for. If we do, that tells us we're likely going to follow that seasonal cycle. We rally into the mid-April time frame out there. So pretty. And here, if we take a look at market breadth, I know you were mentioning that the rally looked a little bit weak when you took a look at your heat map out there. I can still share with you that market breadth is really strong. And so the New York Stock Exchange is advanced decline line. Our oscillator is giving us an edge to the upside. The weakness here is the spot VIX index. We're still above the 50-day exponential moving average out there. If we get below it, we should rally into the middle of April out there.
Steve, great stuff, man. We got some great tigers and tigresses. Pretty cool.
We do.
Breaking down those numbers, man. And I love that midterm chart because it makes so much sense. There's uncertainty, right? The market hates uncertainty. So you're coming into this uncertain election, midterms, and the market. Steve, great stuff, man. We look forward to the program tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tommy. Take care.
Okay, take care. Folks, we'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Markets just chopping around. Pretty tight trading range since the president basically finished, right? You accelerate. You had some volatility. He came on the air at just about 1 o'clock. You pushed 66.50. Since he got off the air, 5-7 points. We're just chopping around right now. Up by 20 points. We check in on gold. Gold right now, 46.80. And we jump around. Excuse me. In terms of where we go. And how about Artemis? Can't help it, man. Pretty remarkable. I was watching an interview today, and yeah, and they have flown beyond. I think they made it. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, they did. They broke the distance record. Pretty remarkable, right? As humans travel farther from Earth than ever before. The 6-hour flyby is the highlight of that return to the moon since the Apollo era. Now, here's something I learned in digging into this. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to try and find a graphic for this. I should have had it up. The shuttle, the Artemis rocket, does not reach what is called escape velocity. Okay, it never quite gets going fast enough to escape the gravitational pull of Earth. So it's going around the moon, and that's going to give it a gravity slingshot. Okay. But what I had no idea of is that it's almost like a tennis ball. And I know that planets have gravitational pull, okay? But it's like a tennis ball that the rocket gets thrown away from Earth, and eventually the gravitational pull will bring it back. But what's happening is that the moon is going to assist in that, right? But I didn't know that. Did you know that? I figure you fire the rockets, right? And I know there's gravitational pull. You go out into space. No, you need to reach what's called escape velocity. And the Artemis does not reach escape velocity. So it's kind of like a tennis ball going up into the atmosphere. Not even the atmosphere, right? You break through it into space nonetheless. Most miles ever. Pretty remarkable. All right. Talk Iran. Yeah, let's talk more. I mean, the headlines coming out on inflation. Cotton, right? We talked about trucking, right? What I didn't get to in trucking was this stat here, the weekly fuel surcharge. This is per a mile. Imagine how many miles you're doing as a trucker, right? Yeah, and that fuel surcharge just went from 45 cents up to almost 70 cents. Diesel, you just went from $3.50 per gallon up to $5.50 per gallon. So then we jump to cotton. Highest since 2024 is tight supply outlook. So the headlines around inflation, they are persisting, to put it lightly. All right, we got about 25 minutes to go. Market just chopping around. Seems like we're just going to sail into the closing bell right now with digesting an hour-and-a-half press conference. The president, the deadline is tomorrow. We'll see if we're going to wait until then for any market action. But very light volume in this market right now. All right, taking a look as we now got about 25 minutes left. NASDAQ, you're about 400,000. S&Ps right now. Look at the S&Ps. 938 versus 1.9 million on Thursday. We jump over the SPY. Oof, it almost looks like not a real day. We're at 30 million. We haven't seen anywhere near 30 million shares traded in the SPY going back to last year. Look at this. Oof. Jump over the Qs. Not quite as pronounced, but pretty close. 30 million in the Qs. Nothing like that going back to what, late January potentially? Jump over the equities. XAU basically flat right now. You got gold basically flat. HUI, yeah, down $1. Now, this morning when I was talking about the program, you had the potential for a ceasefire. That was the headlines that were out there this morning. Yeah, some of the statistics, right? In that press conference, they dropped 100 bombs that weighed 2,000 pounds each. That's the movie I want to see, man. And all the headlines that persisted over that press conference. I mean, look at the volume really even since the president stopped talking. You're talking about just 4,000 contracts every 5 minutes. Very, very light volume when you're talking about the S&P futures. We jump over the SPY on a 5-minute basis right now. Look at this. 150,000 shares in the SPY. That's the S&P 500, folks. Take a look at the volume in gold. Yeah, just very light day. We jump over to platinum. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, same deal. Just light everywhere. We jump over to copper. Same deal. No volume. Jump over to the copper stocks. Freeport. Just look at the volume in some of these equities. Look at Freeport. No volume. There's nothing going on in this market. People are just waiting right now. And that's dicey. You can get some big moves in a market where you got no volume, folks. We got FTX. You're doing 6 million shares today. Nothing. Just very light volume. Jump over to Southern Copper. Same thing. Look at the volume. Let's jump around to some equities. Agnico Eagle. Yeah, just no volume in this market right now. Agnico up by 0.5% right now. Hecla slightly in the green. Yeah, just no volume across the board. So be careful in this market. We could get some swings, man. Probably explains why the VIX is still pushing 25 right now. 24.43. And, you got markets green across the board right now. But you have a VIX that's actually positive, right? Not always the case. Indicative sometimes. You have an elevated VIX from where we were on Thursday, and we have markets in the green. What's up with that? Contrasting signals there to a degree. And reopening the strait, one of the headlines. And we'll see. That's a difficult one, right? That's Iran's only card, basically. So how does that get reopened? If that's their only card, right? They reopen it, they got no other pressure point. And that's the difficult nature, I imagine, one of, to put it lightly. Trump said on Monday, reopening the strait was a very big priority. And he's got until, 12 o'clock tomorrow night. Thought it was 8 o'clock. Now it might be midnight. No one's quite sure. Keep everyone guessing. The pressure's on. And the market in the green. S&P's up by 23. NASDAQ 100 up by 126. We'll come right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Markets in the green. We got about 18 minutes until the closing bell. And this one, interesting from the Journal, and I would agree in terms of what's coming down the line, at least for the first few. What's coming down the line? 5 big tech innovations in the next 25 years. It's not going to take 25 years for some of these. All right, the first ones, devices controlled by the mind. Yeah, the interface, the user interface is about to change dramatically. Okay, the brain-computer interface will become a technology like a smartphone, right? We already use our brain to interact with phones. It's just that we have to get our fingers in the middle of it. That slows everything down. Space mining. Elon likes to hear about that. But yeah, you better believe it, man. A lot of the cost of space flight comes from the launching. If we can harness raw materials in space and build what we need right there, then you're using a lot less fuel. The future is wild, man. Humanoid robots are in there. They talk about private wealth control. Yeah, you better believe it, man. Climate, unstable, private wealth, and how that plays into everything. China, okay? And then abundant energy from nuclear fusion is the last one. Some food for thought. Now, I talked about this morning. Oh, come on, where were we? Yeah, this one. Trump wants to liberate your 401ks from the editorial of the Journal book. And just be very skeptical, folks. If you didn't hear me this morning, check out the morning program. The examples they lay out in this are unfortunate, okay? And the only thing I wanted to comment on was they make comments like this, okay, where you say that over the last 40 years, the stock market has returned 11.7% and private equity has returned 15.1%. Folks, the heyday of private equity is over. You can't compare it to those 40 years. That's the biggest crux of it all. Those numbers are not happening again. So hopefully they're careful out there because, yeah, it's worrisome, to put it lightly. Let's put it that way. All right. Pull the charts back over. We're trailing up into the session highs right now. S&P's right now up 24 points or about 0.3%. All right, let's check in on yields. Pretty slow market right now, all right? Compared to what we've been having usually. But the fireworks may be waiting for tomorrow, as that's the deadline. We're pushing the session highs right now with the S&P is up by 25 points. And the other point that got some attention in that press conference was the fact that we found out that there was somebody stranded, right? And that the journalist who reported on the pilot rescue, how that information got in the hand of journalists, with the president threatening to jail that journalist who published the details of the military raid to rescue 2 airmen whose aircraft was shot down over Iran. I'm going to be interested to hear the details of this because the line is always close, right? The truth is always somewhere in between. Of course, you don't want insiders leaking information like that. And we'll see what happens. We'll leave it at that, right? The truth is always somewhere in between. Most reputable news organizations would not tip off that news if it was not going to be made available for the reasons they were making. And every administration claims national security as to why nothing can come out from that administration. But yeah, so we'll see. Let's check out Apple. Apple had quite the move to kick off the session today. We jump over to Apple shares. You give back some of those gains. Check out the daily right now. All right, right in the middle of its trading range. Apple's got quite an uptrend channel going right now. Let's back it up even further. Poof, yeah, right in the middle of it. 258. Now, remember, folks, I was talking about getting myself a new iPhone during the holidays. I was saying, I love it, man. Apple's selling so many goods, but we're at the top of the range right now. All right, well, we're a little bit closer. That's for sure. We're coming back in to test 2024 highs. 2024 highs, folks, just like that. Apple shares under those 2024 highs. And, yeah, they've been under them almost every month this year so far. But Apple up 1.1% today. We jump over to NVIDIA shares. Basically flat. I do like how NVIDIA, now that's a monthly. Check this out. You come back, you test the 382. We test the 382. That's the same line that we tested when we were back here last September. We've been consolidating for a bit. Boy, if you can get a breakout here, you got quite a nice little consolidation for the next leg higher for NVIDIA. One way or the other, but this is what you need in this equity, right? As in, you go from $10 up to 170 over the period of 3 years, just under 3 years. Well, now we have a consolidation that's been a part of almost 9 months. Jump over to Micron, up by 3% today. Come on. There we go. That's a weekly. Some nice bottom, nice volume off the lows there last week with some nice strength from Micron. How's that for some volume? Just looking at the volume numbers. As we are just drifting right now into session highs almost. We hit a high this morning at 66.61, and we are almost right to the tick back at the highs we were at 2:20 Eastern time. That high, 6650.25. We're at 6649 right now. S&P is pushing session highs. NASDAQ 100. Yeah, not quite at the opening bell. Dow right now up 154 points, approaching 47,000. Take a look at the yield curve as we come into one final break. 10 minutes left to go on the trading day. Slightly lower yield today, but man, some of these numbers, right? 10-year, 4.34. The 2-year at 3.85, up about half a point from a month ago almost. 2-year, 3.85. Some decent CD rates out there right now, folks. Decent CD rates. They might be out there for a little while, though, if we get inflation. That's the thing. So don't go parking it all in, a longer duration, because there's some risks right now. We are in a war. Crude is a problem. Infrastructure is getting destroyed. We might have an inflation problem. Okay? Assets right now, yeah, they're a decent spot to be. Equities dealing with some turmoil from crude, but we have inflation right now, period. End of sentence. We'll talk a little bit of Fed when we come back, folks. S&P is up by 27. We'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks, and we have markets right near session highs right now. S&P's up by 25 points, trading at 66.48. We jump over to crude, 112.09. No real reprieve whatsoever, right? Sunday night, you hit 115 and change on crude. When the president was talking briefly, you were above 114 momentarily. You're at 112.08 right now for crude. We check in on gold. Gold contract trading at 46.81. And let's talk a little bit of Fed. So, in terms of where the market is pricing, okay, this is the CME Fed Watch, as implied by the 30-day Fed Funds futures prices. Okay, now at the last meeting that Powell has, 23 days from right now, the market's 99.5% sure that he's going to stay right where we are. 3.5 to 3.75, 0.5% chance we hike. Now, here's where things get interesting. You go to Warsh, if he gets in there, Market's still pretty sure we're staying where we are. Slight chance of a cut. But check this out. July, same deal. Slight chance of one cut. You go to September, it says, hold on a second. By September, the market thinks we have a problem, folks. The market's now pricing in an 8% chance that we're 25 basis points higher in September, even though in June, it's pricing in. Now, these are all outliers, okay? But then you go out to October, and there's now more than a 10% probability that we have a hike by October. Last meeting of the year, December, 10% chance of a hike, 10% chance of a cut, 80% chance we're right where we are right now. Interesting, right? Nobody knows. And boy, what's the world going to look like? And is Mr. Warsh going to be in there? He's got to get in there first, right? They got to stop trying to lock Chairman Powell up in jail because of his interest rate policy to make sure that Tom Tillis gets Mr. Warsh through the committee he needs to get to. One of the risks out there. Folks, thanks for tuning in, spending your afternoon with me right here on the Tom O'Brien Show. Couldn't appreciate it more. Time is the one thing we don't get back, folks. Thanks for spending it with me. Spend your time wisely. Spend it wisely tonight. Enjoy it. Your friends, your family, enjoy it, folks. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one, folks.
Building wealth